January 23rd, 1938, Armando Najera was born. With the help of his older brother, Celestino Najera, he joined the Air Force. Armando was nicknamed Pete by his boot camp sergeant. His father, Celestino Sr., was a welder, and his saintly mother, Anna, was adored by Pete. Pete loved the military, and the feeling was mutual. He was a leader of men, the first to volunteer, the bravest of the brave. Pete was eventually promoted to flight engineer and flew in Vietnam and the Cuban Missile Crisis, and many more black ops he would say he could not tell you about. Anyone who knew Pete would say he was rough and gruff, and he would openly speak his mind. Pete loved children. After a lifelong dedication to the military, he took a job in the children's nursery where he openly doted on children. Pete loved to sing, and if he liked you, he would sing a song about you and sing it loudly. Pete was a dedicated husband to his wife Glenda, who he stood by from her early 20s until her death. They had 2 children, Toni and Tracy, who he cherished and loved and lavished with all that he had to give. When you have a military background, sometimes it's hard to show your feelings, but Pete did the best he could. When Pete spoke about his grandchildren, you could really see the sparkle in his eyes. When his first grandchildren, Bodie and Ryan, were born, he spent every spare moment with them, giving them all the love and understanding a grandfather could give. Much later, when his first grandchildren were almost grown, his grandchildren Haley and Hayden were born. They were the light of his life. He truly believed that God had put him on this earth to love and protect them, and that he did. He spoiled them tremendously and loved every moment of it. All of us have good and bad in us. It is human to err. Even though Pete was tough on the outside, inside lived a very loving man, a caring man, dedicated to his family. Pete was the grandfather of random kindness. He would say, "Never kick a man when he's down." If you were hurt in some way and he found out about it, he would take it upon himself to help you. He bought brand new shoes for every child in one of the largest orphanages in Fort Worth, Texas. And he could be seen frequently giving out lunches handmade by him to the homeless. Pete was an educated man and a world traveler. He would buy gifts from every corner of the earth and bring them back to his family. He's survived by his sister Rachel and Anna, his daughters Toni and Tracy, and his 4 grandchildren, Bodie, Ryan, Haley, and Hayden. Pete had 2 younger brothers, Raymond and Richard. Pete died of a heart attack at age 81 on May 15th, 2019. Pete Najera openly loved God, and for that reason, and for all his good deeds, I know Pete is in heaven looking down on us. May God rest his soul.